Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the program. Today, I'm going to try something new. This is going to be the first episode of debunking or our terrible takes kind of series. And so, for this first hot take slash terrible take slash debunking, it's Joel Klatt and Skip Bayless saying that Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in college football or not overrated. My take is he might be the most overrated coach in college football. And so we're going to kind of take a look at what he's done and see if he's up to the standard of what he should be at. And so, what's the best way to determine someone's worth? How much money they're paid. So, if we look here at the top 4 highest paid coaches, according to Business Insider, I think it was either 2018 or 2017, so it could change, or might have changed. So, first one, highest paid coach in college football, absolutely Nick Saban, $11.1 million. He has 8 conference championships and 5 national titles. I'd say worth it. Dabo Swinney, a guy who's supposed to be taking over Saban's seat here shortly, is the best head coach in college football. $8.5 million, 3 conference championships, and 1 national championship. Then you have Jim Harbaugh as the 3rd highest paid head coach in college football. No national championships, no conference championships. We'll go into that later. And then just, for safety, we'll look one below him at Urban Meyer, $6.4 million with 5 conference championships and 3 national championships. All right, so let's go. So we're focusing more on Jim Harbaugh's Michigan coaching record. I mean, we can go into Pac-12. Pac-12 is one of the worst conferences in college football, and yet Andrew Luck. So, I mean, we can talk about that. I would like to focus more on what he is now, especially since we pulled up the most recent coaching salaries. And so we'll look at 2015. Against top 25 opponents, this man is 3-2. I guess against people whose records are above 500, he's 5-3. His best win was Northwestern, worst loss was Utah, and finished 3rd in the Big Ten East. I mean, his opponent's average or win percentage was 58%. He went 10-3. He beat Florida. I guess this is when they had McElwain. So I wouldn't say it's that great, but I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, you did lose to Michigan State and Ohio State. 0-2 against your rivals. It's not fantastic. But, it's not a bad season for your first year there. And so, you don't have all your people in. Like, we understand it. Like, all right, we'll also overlook that Utah loss. That was actually pretty bad. 2016. Now, this is where he has his best year in Michigan. And this is the year of the... What was it? Was this the block punt on Michigan State against Michigan State where they returned it for a tutter, and then the bad ball position against Ohio State? In the Ohio State game, you got to win that before, just like in Michigan State. You can't let it come down to just one play and be like, oh well, he should have won it because if this goes the other way, then you would have won the game. No, it's a 60-minute game. You have 60 minutes to win it. Don't put it on just one play. That's stupid. All right. This year, you have a terrible out-of-conference schedule. I mean, you play Colorado, who did go 10-4, so no shade against Colorado. But, I mean, you're still not even best in the Pac-12. So, against top 25, he's 1-2 this year. Against people who are above 500, he's 4-3. So, he's even not doing that well in his arguable best season, and he got upset by Iowa. Like, are you kidding me? And you only put up 13 points against Iowa. Prefer, your new kids coming in this year, or sophomores preferably. So they should, at least be beating Iowa, who Colin Cowherd called the fake ID of the NCAA, or college football. And then we'll look over to their best win, Wisconsin. Was this when Hornibrook was in there and couldn't throw a goddamn pass? Or this is when Joel Stave was there and still couldn't throw a goddamn pass? The thing is with the out route that Stave threw to try to, get a first down. It's like a 5-yard out, and he couldn't get it in a zone coverage scheme. It was absolute garbage. I mean, but yeah, then you lose to Florida State. I mean, not a bad bowl game. Still finished 3rd in the Big Ten East. I mean, you expect a little better from the 3rd highest paid head coach in college football. All right, and then his most recent year, 2017, people are like, well, at least they're scheduling good games in Florida. Florida finished 4-7 and should have been 3-8 if Tennessee actually plays decent defense on that last play and doesn't press. when you know they're throwing a Hail Mary because their kicker can't kick a 45-yard field goal. So a post route wouldn't have made sense. They're going for it, all you dumbasses. Anyways, I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm allowed to be angry. Well, he's 1-3 against top 25 opponents, 1-5 against opponents with the over 500 record. At the end of the year, you lose to South Carolina, who honestly should have lost to Tennessee too. I mean, it came down to that final drive, and if you don't throw it 3 straight times, basically, and give it to John Kelly, I mean, South Carolina loses that game because Tennessee scores a touchdown on that final drive, as long as the coaches weren't stupid. Then you lose to Wisconsin, you lose to Ohio State, you lose to Penn State, you lose to Michigan State, and it's just not good. I mean, he's a great average coach. I mean, he's not terrible. I mean, his best win in 2017 was Purdue, and his worst loss to South Carolina. It's not a bad loss, but you're still finishing 4th in the Big Ten East. This man had finished in the top 2 in the Big Ten East, let alone the Big Ten. Like, he hasn't even made it to the conference championship game, and you're like, well, I mean, he's playing really hard opponents in Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan State. What? The year before, in 2016, Michigan State was 3-9. I mean, these teams go up and down. What, the year before that, Penn State was 7-6. It's not like they're facing good teams all of the time, and even when they play good teams, he goes 1-5 in the most recent year. Then loses to South Carolina in the bowl game. And so then we look at kind of his overall, is what he did in his 3 years here. And for the 3rd highest paid head coach in college football, this man is 5-7 against the top 25. He is 10-11 against teams that are above 500, and he's 1-2 in bowls. I think I laid out my case here. I think I laid it out pretty well. If you disagree with me, leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I'm still working on the Joel Klatt debunking of, is the Big Ten better than the SEC? I'm hoping to get that out shortly. But I appreciate y'all listening to this the entire time. And I hope y'all have a good day. I'll see you shortly.